It's Powerback time on the Gutsy Podcast, your 20-minute boost to reclaim and refocus your energy. Get ready to have bursts of clarity, a boost of confidence, and the practical steps you need to make gutsy moves forward. You've got big things to do, so let's get your power back. You get a great idea, you want to do something new, you want to try something, and man, does your brain kick in faster than anything. Not just to fuel your ideas, but to talk you out of them before you even get started. You know what I'm talking about? All that mind junk that tells you that you can't do it, you're too far behind, it's not going to work, and it's too complicated to do. This is the brain chatter that throws you into hesitation. And the more you sit in that space, the louder and more real those thoughts become. Look, I help women stop resisting what they actually want and make the gutsy moves for themselves. And today, on this Powerback episode, we're going to start shifting that hesitation into momentum. I'm going to walk you through a very simple process that takes you from hesitating and resisting your ideas to taking action that creates confidence, clarity, and opportunities that you can't even fathom. First, a little side note. Today, I'm walking you through what I call the Powerback Process, which is an acronym, AURA, which teaches you how to catch and shift your thoughts in the moment. So you're no longer hesitating on stuff, but instead you're getting clarity and taking action. And so as you're listening to this, if you really like this process and you want to dig deeper into it, I have a 5-day audio series. It's free. If you go to LauraAura.com/foundations, I go deeper into teaching this method. You can use this to stop beating yourself up, to be able to make decisions, to learn how to trust yourself, to take action, build your confidence. This is the method that I have used. I didn't know I was creating a method until I sat down and realized all of the big changes and even the little changes that I've made in my life had these steps involved. And it's empowered me and thousands of other people to build their confidence and make those gutsy moves. So you're not really hesitating and wondering, can I do this? Instead, you're just living and having it. So again, if you want to grab that, LauraAura.com/foundations. And there's also a link in the show notes below. Okie dokie, let's get into this today. I gotta tell you, this hesitation, it's not abnormal, okay? I think sometimes we get in this space where it's like, oh, there's something wrong with me, or, I'm not doing this right, or everyone else has it figured out. No, okay, let's just bust all of that immediately. Hesitation is a normal human experience. And that hesitation usually comes from a fear, or the unknown, or change, or discomfort. So anytime you're facing something new in your life or a shift that you want to make, hesitation is a natural emotion and experience that you're going to go through. Even when it's something that you really want to do or something that you're really excited to do or you just feel super curious or drawn to, even when it's a hell yes, it doesn't mean that it comes without hesitation because it's still new and it's still different. And listen, I don't know about you, but the unknown, man, there are a lot of question marks around that. And your brain is very creative. Even if you don't consider yourself to be a creative person, all of our brains are very creative in coming up with scenarios to keep us quote unquote safe. So before we dig into any kind of system or process, I just wanted to humanize this with you because there's nothing wrong with you. You're just at the starting point of something new. My specialty has really become helping people stop resisting what it is that they really want. And part of that is owning what you want in the first place. And then simplifying the absolute shit out of things so that you know where to focus your time and your efforts. This is where you make the gutsy moves. This is where you take action. And this is where you ultimately get to have the things that you want instead of overthinking and overcomplicating them. So I want to start this with a story about one of my clients who was really in the hesitation phase. She's a small business owner, a baker. She creates these really incredible cookies, like bigger than life, really extravagant cookies. And she had started doing this on the side and just doing like some local markets, baking things for friends and family. And through doing this, she realized two things. One, she really loved doing this work. And two, people really loved buying her cookies. So as she was kind of dabbling and experimenting with things, she built a following. Now, around this time and season, I also had a commercial building in our downtown. And part of our commitment when we owned that was to create a space for small businesses to grow and thrive. So a couple of times a year, we would host pop-up shops where local small businesses could come in, they would set up their booths, and they could sell their goods. So I messaged her one day and I was like, hey, we're here in the same space. Why don't you come in and set up a booth and see where it goes? Insert hesitation number 1. I'm not sure if I can do that. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if people are going to want us, but she did it instead. Okay. She didn't listen to the hesitation. She leaned into the curiosity instead, and she set up a booth. And wouldn't you know, she sold out those cookies. So she signed up for the next event and sold out her cookies. And she signed up for the next event. And we kept doing this for about 2 years. And over those 2 years, she built a loyal following. Okay. Like people were like, where are you going to be? What are the specials? I want to buy a box. And she is consistently known for selling out. So insert this next transition point. We decided to sell the building. So we were no longer hosting the pop-up shops, which was honestly a bummer. That was something that I really loved doing because I love seeing these people thrive. But I had to honor myself and our family, and it was time for us to transition. So now she's in this new hesitation phase, okay? She's got 1 foot in the door with the cookie business. She's got 1 foot in the door with her daytime job. And whether you're a business owner or you have just been in between 2 worlds in a life change, you know how exhausting that is to split your time and your energy. And don't get me wrong, she was feeling the resistance, okay? Like there's the big leap of faith. There's the what if this doesn't work out? What if people stop buying my cookies? What if they don't want it as much because now we're going to have a storefront? So we unpacked the feeling. We got a clear plan. And wouldn't you know, the most perfectly located brick and mortar space opened up. She took the action, she signed the contract, and within a couple of months, she quit her full-time job and went full-time at the bakery. And wouldn't you know, she continuously sells out. Every single week on my Facebook page, I see posts that say, hey, you guys did it again. We're sold out. We'll be back next week. And not only is she full-time in the bakery now, but her husband works there more than part-time. Her son works there more than part-time. And they're looking to expand their staff by the end of this year. I tell you this story because things work out better than we can imagine when we release the need to have it all figured out and we trust in our ability to figure things out. See, it's this sense of control or perceived control because we don't have a lot of control over a lot of things. I know our brains even feel like we're out of control sometimes. However, we have control over a lot of things within ourselves. What we consume, who we spend our time around, where you're absorbing information and learning, whether you react or respond to something, you have a lot more control than what you feel like you do. And one of those things that you can learn to control even more is your mind. Because the only thing that would have stopped her from actually moving forward would have been herself. And guess what allowed her to move forward and experience all this incredible growth? Herself. Yes, she had support. Yes, she had some mentors. Yes, she had to put in the time and the money and the energy to make it happen. But she allowed herself to believe that it was possible. And then she took the action to support that. So this method that I used with her, that I teach in the foundations that I mentioned earlier in this episode, I'm going to walk you through this specifically when we're talking about hesitation. And again, this could be at a job change, a relationship change, wanting to do or try something new, speaking up about something, letting go of something. The cool thing about this process is it is so adaptable in just about every situation of your life, especially the ones where you're overthinking and hesitating. So first, I want you to just kind of hone in and think about what is a change or a decision or a shift in your life that you have been hesitating on, dragging your feet, wondering, daydreaming about. To make that change, we got to really first get really honest and bring it to the forefront so that you know what you're working with. Now, this process, it's an internal one, okay? You can journal this out, and there is a worksheet for this inside the Gutsy Collective. So if you are or become a member of the Gutsy Collective, there's a worksheet where you can actually journal down through this and some bonus questions to help you take it a couple steps further. but I'm going to get you started here today. So like I said, this is an active process. I highly suggest writing this stuff out. Maybe you want to sit and be a little introspective with it at first, and that's fine too. This process is called the Powerback Process, and it's an acronym. A-U-R-A. Aura. Yes, pun fully intended. This is designed to help you interrupt your thought process, shift all that hesitation, and then get you clear and focused on the action to take next. So instead of overthinking and beating yourself up, now we're actually moving towards the thing that you want instead of away from it. So you've got your moment or experience or decision that you're hesitating on, okay? That's forefront. The first step of this process is to notice the resistance. And this breaks down to nothing more than awareness. And I know you've heard this before, but are you doing it? This part of the process alone is the interrupter. This is what jars the situation and brings you back into the conscious moment. It brings you present back in your life. Because all that hamster wheel thought stuff, that you're not being conscious. That's your subconscious mind just running amok. So when you literally stop, pause, really notice the resistance, you interrupt your thought process. And when I say notice the resistance, I'm saying, where is it in your body? Where do you feel this resistance? For me, a lot of times it's in my chest. There's a pressure or a tightness, and I can tell when I start to get that pressure in my chest that my body is trying to communicate with me. So where do you feel the resistance in your body? And what does it feel like? Is it tightening? Is it tingling? Is there pressure? When you get to know your body, it tells you the signs and the cues. And then you can start learning and understanding what it's saying to you. So when you feel this resistance around this decision that you need to make, where is it? Where do you feel it in your body? What does it feel like? And what is it saying to you right now? My friend, you have literally just interrupted your thought process and you've come back into the conscious moment. And now we can move forward. And the second step is to unpack it. Unpack the feeling. What is coming up for you? What is it that you fear about this decision? What's causing the overwhelm or the confusion? Where did this feeling come from? Was there a past experience? Did someone mirror something to you? Is it just the unknown that's kind of rocking your boat? When you unpack it, you get to know it. And this is a space that's very loving and gentle. I look at it as kind of talking to your inner child. So if a kiddo was really having big emotions or big feelings, you would want to get down on their level, to understand them, to comfort them. And this is what I invite you to do with this part of the process, is to unpack it with curiosity and gentleness. You're not shaming or blaming this part of you. Instead, you're getting to know it. And when you feel seen and heard by yourself, oh my gosh, my friend, you have just unlocked a new level of awesomeness. Once you've unpacked it, now we can start moving forward. We're going to go into the reframe. What's possible instead? This is reminding yourself what is possible, what you're capable of, and what could be in such a beautiful way. So to get your reframe started, again, this is a reminder to yourself, let's revisit some stuff. How have you overcome something like this in the past? What skills do you have that support this desire or change? You can do this, right? I mean, if we take out all that mental chatter, you know that you're capable of doing it. And if you don't have the immediate skills, you have the ability to figure it out. And lastly, what could go right? Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, let's start imagining the possibilities on the other side of this. I mean, my cookie gal, she couldn't fathom the success and the growth and the loyalty that she has with her audience. And you know something? I truly believe she's just getting started, but she keeps running into these growth moments. She is met with a little bit of hesitation and resistance. She leans into the curiosity and she takes one next step, and she keeps unfolding these incredible opportunities because of it. So let's start focusing on the what if, but in a positive way. And I dare you to dream big, be audacious. Dare I say, when I think about what could go right for myself, now that I've stepped into this full-time role as a keynote speaker and coach, I mean, what if I get to speak on a stage with 10,000 people or 20,000 people? What if I write a book and it becomes a New York Times bestseller? holy shit, my energy starts to shift with that. I start getting excited. I start feeling like the goosebumps all over my body. This is the energy that I want you to start shifting into, okay? Because after you've unpacked it and really just honored yourself and got really curious, now you're shifting into your higher self. And you don't have to have it all figured out for these possibilities to be true and valid. Now, once you're in this energy, okay, we've raised the bar here, right? I can feel that you're vibrating on a new level. Guess what we get to do now? My friend, take action. Take action from the space when you are elevated. And that action can be nothing more than one next step. I'm a huge fan of brain dumping your ideas because usually when you elevate into this type of space, your brain's going to start going 100 miles an hour, but with all the what ifs in a good way. So get it down on paper, okay? You don't have to be a superhuman and try and remember all this shit. I want you to get it down on paper. Then you can start to see all the moving pieces, right? Like, let's go back to our Tetris days here. We've got all these pieces kind of coming down pretty quickly. We need to give them a space. Your brain dumping is the space. Then you can look at, okay, what's one next thing that I can do? I may not know 100% of all the steps, but it feels like I maybe have like 20 or 30% down. Or maybe you just wrote down 3 things. Cool. What is one next step that you can take? I want you to circle it. This is simplifying your plan, okay? A lot of that chatter in the beginning comes from trying to have it all figured out and know every step of the puzzle. I don't know what fucking Tetris piece is coming next, but I know that I'm willing to play the game, and I'm playing the game for the long haul here. When you take that one next step, that action creates momentum. That momentum builds confidence. Your confidence invites clarity, and that clarity gives you opportunity. I say it all the time. We can think about great ideas all day long, but if we don't take action on them, they just stay a wish. So if you feel like you've been beating your head up against the wall and trying to get clarity on something, I'm telling you, one of the best ways to do that is to take action. Let it be messy, okay? Know that you don't have to have it all figured out. Maybe you only know one next thing to do, and after that, it's like a total void. Cool. That one next thing, when you allow yourself to actually do it, will unlock all of the answers that you've been beating your head up against a wall to try to figure out. Whew, hot damn. Listen, if you can't tell, I get pretty fucking passionate about this because it freaking works. I myself have used it hundreds, if not thousands of times at this point. And by doing this, I have literally changed my entire life. And the change is to a life that I actually really wanted. Am I 100% where I want to be yet? No, I'm still a work in progress. I'm still doing this stuff alongside you. But compared to like 2 years ago, holy shitbags. This is the process that helped me to stop resisting what I actually wanted and to make the moves to get it. I trust myself now more than ever in my lifetime. And I'm so in tune with my body now that it often speaks before I do. So try this. Implement it. I'm telling you, it fucking works. And you can use it over and over and over again. In fact, the more you use it, the quicker it usually goes and the stronger that it gets. So it's a pretty cool, handy tool. And again, if you want to dig deeper into this, I really break down each of those processes like on a very specific level. Go to LauraAura.com/foundations and I will send you the free audio series. And if you love this type of content, if you like this kind of energy, and you are craving female connections with practical guidance, the Gutsy Collective, I'm telling you, that is your next gutsy move, okay? And the worksheet for today's lesson, plus some bonus questions, is going to live inside of it. If we are not already friends on social media, what are we actually doing? You can find me on your favorite platform using @thatLauraAura. And as always, until I see you next time, stay gutsy.